Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things we learned from Norwich 1, Chelsea 3 in the Premier League. It's a weird day. We have had the worst news, but then what we saw on the pitch, which is what football is all about, was pretty good from Chelsea. 3 points, 3 goals, plenty of talking points. But before we do get into any of that, I want to ask you to subscribe to the George Benson football channel, because no matter who owns Chelsea Football Club, I will still be doing match reviews of Chelsea FC until the day that the club either dies or I do. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that. Hit the like button for a big Chelsea win. It was a game of 2 halves that finished with a moment of just absolute quality. Chelsea in the first half was scintillating. We could have had 5 or 6 goals before half time and nobody would have really been able to say anything. Norwich weren't there. Defensively, every time Chelsea got a corner, which we did on numerous occasions, we looked like scoring a goal. Mason Mount scores a wonderful goal. Trevoh Chalobah scores a wonderful header. And then in the second half, we kind of lost a bit of concentration. We lost intensity. We slowed the game down. Norwich got back into it. It is a deserved penalty. It was definitely a pen. Pukki scores. And then the final 5 minutes of the game, Chelsea bring on the magnificent N'Golo Kante, lays it off to generational talent Kai Havertz, who puts it right in the top corner emphatically. The obvious stories around this game today were what Chelsea was going to show up. There was supposedly a meeting held before the game today where players were concerned that even though they know they're going to get paid, what is the situation? Is there guarantees that can be given? And I think at this moment in time, every time that Chelsea go out on the field with all of the chaos that surrounds the club off the field, if we play the way we did for large portions of this game, as fans, we can only be happy. You know, when I see us score 3 goals, I'm celebrating every goal as if it is the goal in a final, because I don't want to take for granted anymore any of these ecstatic moments that we feel in football, because as much as we can see the stories of teams that have gone down, and I'm not saying that Chelsea are going to go down, but it's also very eye-opening to see just how quickly things can change when we're not expecting them. But tonight, we got the job done. It's all we could have done. An incredibly high-pressure game. Thomas Tuchel deals with it well. But we begin box number 1. There's no blue box today. I don't think there was necessarily a standout above anybody else who absolutely carried Chelsea above anyone, but it is a green for Trevoh Chalobah. First of all, we'll talk about the one negative that he did. We got booked as well, but the penalty, it's a penalty, but he's also off balance, so we can't really be too mad at him at that, and we also won the game. But the opening goal, 3 minutes into the game, Trevoh Chalobah goes and stands inside the 6-yard box in front of Tim Krul, in front of one of the defenders. Goes away with a lovely little bit of movement, flicks it on, and Chelsea got the perfect way to start this game to calm any nerves that anyone would have had. You know, we've played and won Champions League finals, but still, with a pressure game like this one where Chelsea lose and you start to see a cataclysmic capitulation of the fan base, you could see a breakdown from Thomas Tuchel, who starts getting asked a load of political questions again, but only really wants to focus on the football. Trevoh Chalobah got us off to the best start we could have done. There are also many other moments in the game where you see Trevoh playing in the right centre-back position of a back 3, getting forwards, getting into good positions, being creative with the ball, and not being frightened to actually progress. And I think tonight it could have taken anybody to grab the game by the scruff of the neck so early, but I think the fact that it is him is also poetic for Chelsea fans in a way, because people can talk about dirty Russian money all they like, but Trevoh Chalobah didn't cost us a penny. He came through the academy, and every time he's out there, at the moment, he's showing that he is good enough to take Chelsea forward. Transfer ban or not, Jules Koundé wanted last summer, wanted this summer, can no longer come in or not. Trevoh Chalobah, I'm delighted that he's going to be staying with us. Signed a big new long-term contract, and he opened up the scoring tonight. We move into box number 2. And again, poetic, isn't it? Kai Havertz, big Chelsea signing, to Mason Mount, the academy boy who's been there since 8 years old, with an emphatic finish. It reminded me of the goal that I saw at Carrow Road when Mason Mount broke through in Frank Lampard's first season, we won that day as well. We were confident in the start of that game. We were confident in the start of this one. And Mason Mount, I think today, despite having some poor performances recently, there's a picture where he's kissing the badge straight after the game. And at this moment in time, rival fans can criticise Chelsea all they like. We can sing about dirty Russian money all we like. But as Chelsea fans right now, there isn't any Chelsea fan who deserves to see their club go through the mud. So in these micro moments of seeing a Chelsea Academy boy kiss the badge, score a goal, we've got to celebrate these moments, not take anything for granted. I feel as though I'll keep reiterating that across my videos all the time at the moment, because it is an arduous time. It is a time of uncertainty where we don't know the next steps. We don't know what's going to happen. And there were questions in my head today about, well, if it's quite obvious now that the club is going to go into some kind of spiral, we're going to see who really cares. We're going to see who is here, not to play away for a move that could happen in the summer. And of course, there's still so many questions about that. Can people leave? If we can't bring anyone in, what are Chelsea going to do to try and soften things for players who might want to leave? Mason Mount's not going anywhere, and he was brilliant tonight. Second half, kind of lost his way a little bit, but I think again, it's because of the wing-backs. Ruben Loftus-Cheek comes on for Aspi. Unsure, because Azpilicueta was very good in that first half, and he created all of that space and width for Chelsea, which is where Mason Mount got on the ball the most. But second half, it changed. We managed to concentrate ourselves out of the game with all 3 points. But we move into box number 3, and to juxtapose players who really look like they're up for it, Timo Werner is a red. And normally, I give Timo Werner the benefit of the doubt. Normally, if he's not playing very well, I can compliment his work rate. But this evening, Timo Werner didn't look interested. It's the first time since the Champions League final that we see the Werner-Havertz-Mount combination. But Timo Werner wasn't at it. Ball was getting stuck under his feet. There was a chance where Mason Mount fizzes one in across the face of goal. Timo doesn't get on the end of it. And towards the end, I'm like, he's not chasing down the ball. He doesn't look interested. And as much as I don't want to go and turn around and say that the occasion got the better of Timo Werner and maybe he doesn't care, I think that would be jumping the gun a bit too soon. But to make it black and white, there were players out there tonight who certainly gave a lot more, certainly influenced Chelsea's game a lot more, and Timo Werner wasn't one of them. I've given him a red box, but a man who, again, just simply fantastic. He's in wonderful form. Kai Havertz is box number 4. It's a green for Kai Havertz, of course. He scores an emphatic goal. Could have had a couple tonight. He had a couple of attempts on target in the first half. First one, good save from Tim Krul. Denied by Tim Krul again. But the finish, it is huge for Chelsea because in the final moments of the game, Norwich considerably grew into this match and could have gone and made it an incredibly nervy last few minutes. But Kai Havertz's finish is emphatic. Not just the goal, the assist for Mason Mount as well, getting into great positions. And one thing I really love about the way Kai Havertz holds himself playing through the middle is that when the balls are played over the top, too often you see strikers backing into defenders, and before they've even had chance to tussle for the ball, they've given away a foul because they use too much physicality. The way that Havertz gets his body in between players to turn without committing a foul to then run onto the ball, it means that he's not trying to gain his balance again, not trying to regain his footing, and he can actually go onto it in a positive way, going straight forwards with an eye for goal. And I think the goal itself topped off a very good Havertz performance, and I think if push came to shove, I would have ended up giving Kai Havertz man of the match again, because he got that assist for Mount, scores a massive goal at a massive time. And as we move into box number 5, it's a yellow for concentration. Now it seems a bit weird because we win 3-1, we get all 3 points, and we do manage to concentrate right to the very end to get the job done, to get Chelsea over the line. The reason I give it a yellow is because for me it's confusing. Normally, we start the game poor, get better. Today, total opposite. We start the game with full intensity, and then it's as if I do think the occasion got the better of us a little bit. I think it was more of like a mental drain for Chelsea in the second half, as opposed to necessarily a physical one. And as much as we did manage to concentrate to see the game out, against a team of better quality, when we switch off the intensity in that second half, it doesn't matter how well we concentrate, we're going to get punished. And again, if it would have happened that way today and Chelsea give away a 2-goal lead, don't come away with all 3 points, we can also hold our hands up and say like, well, considering the situation, does anyone expect any different? But the reason why we win 3-1 and not 2-1 is the final box 6 in today's video. It's a green for N'Golo Kante, who in 6 or so minutes of this match just showed us how lucky we bloody are to have had this guy at the club. N'Golo Kante comes on, finds so many little pockets of space to win back possession, maintain possession for Chelsea in the final few minutes, gets an assist for Kai Havertz at the end as well. At least I think it was. By the end of it, I was kind of just gassing up a little bit, thinking, please don't ruin my day any more than it already has been today. 3 hours sleep, I'm up now, wide awake, had a coffee. N'Golo Kante absolutely saw this game out for Chelsea. Comes on, and we're just blessed to have players like this at the club. Whatever happens now, we've got to soak up all of the victories when we can. We can't really, as fans, do anything other than just voice our support for the players, voice our concerns by how these sanctions from the government will be implemented as time goes on, as it remains under review. If you haven't seen the video I posted earlier today talking about the Abramovich sanctions, what it means for Chelsea, then be sure to check it out. And I've also recorded, before the game tonight, a podcast with Eunice that will be out tomorrow on both Apple, Spotify, and of course the YouTube video here. But yeah, Chelsea get the job done. It's a massive 3 points. Enjoy these while we can. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not yet subscribed and you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Come on, you Blues.